In this video tutorial we are going to discuss about single inheritance in Java. As we can able to see over here, two small squares, both the squares represents two different classes. If we will talk about inheritance, at least two classes will come into the picture, at least two classes, at most n number of classes. So single inheritance means we should have a base class which is treated as parent class, and we can create a subclass or child class or extended class for that parent class by using extends keyword, and that will be treated as the derived class for the parent class. So what will be the object of writing such code? The objective is the derived class can able to access all the properties available in base class. Each and every properties class members available in base class, the derived class can able to access, and the derived class can have its own independent unique characteristics and properties as class members. Let us discuss about few more points related to single inheritance. A base class can have one derived class, that is known as single inheritance. If we will create a base class and we will write a derived extends base, that means one base class will be there and one single derived class is there, so which is known as single inheritance. Derived class can have its own class members and it can access all the class members available in base class. Base class also can have its own class members. Derived class also can have its own class members. But along with its own class members, the derived class also can able to access the class members available in base class. Static members cannot be inherited, cannot be inheritable or inherited. We cannot inherit static members. I can say are not inheritable. We cannot inherit the static members. Non-static members such as public members, protected members, we can inherit, but non-static private members are not able to, we cannot able to inherit the private members which are non-static. So three types of access specifiers we discussed over here: public, private and protected. Public access specifier members, the members which are having public access specifiers are inheritable, we can inherit those members. The members which are having protected access specifiers also are inheritable, we can inherit those members. But the members which are having private access specifiers are not inheritable, we cannot inherit private members of the particular class. Let us have a look on the pictorial description as a pseudocode over here, so that we can convert it as the code and execute and understand the inheritance concept little more better. Here we can able to see two different squares. One represents the base class, class B, and other one represents the derived class, class derived. So if I want to create the derived class of the specific class, the syntax is class derived class name extends base class name. That means here we wrote class derived extends base. That means base is the class, that is parent class or base class, and derived is a class which is a derived class from base class. Extends is the keyword which will tell derived as a derived class from base class. By using extends keyword, we can inherit a specific class. What are all the class members which we can inherit? Just now we discussed, but let us check the pseudocode. Public access specifier members and protected access specifier members can be inheritable. Static members cannot be inherited. We cannot inherit the static members, non-static members with public and protected access specifiers we can inherit. So, let us check the pseudocode. Class B, protected integer x and public integer y, two different class members which are of integer type, which are initialized to 10 and 20. One more member also is there, display data, which is public void type, no return type, public access specifier method is there. So, in this method we are just printing x and y. Then one more method is there, protected void test data, which will print again the random string. Now, these are the members of base class. So, what is the content of derived class? The content of derived class is it can have its own characteristics, it can also access all the members of base class. So, to access all the members of base class, we need to create the base class object over here, as by telling base object equal to new base. Then okay. So, now this point is not useful over here. Here access non-static members using object. Only non-static members can be inherited. If the member is static, we cannot able to inherit. Now, so what are all the non-static members available over here in class B? X, Y and display data is a method, test data is a method. So, all the things can be inherited and it can have, the derived class can have its own properties. So, here we wrote one string NV, which is a dummy value string which we initialized, and we can print it as it is. So, let us check how can we execute, so that we can able to access all the members present in the base class in derived class. So, here what we understood, the derived class must be the main class, because we are trying to create the object of the base class to access the base class members. So, let us go inside Eclipse. We will just access the core Java project 1. Now, let me create the new class. Let us say inherit derived. The class name is inherit derived. The derived class is the main class. So, let me enable the main method over here. I am just deleting the unwanted data. Here let me create a base class. As we just discussed, we should have one base class. Let us say inherit base. I am just changing the class name. Now, here integer, so public integer, let us say number 1 equal to some value, then protected integer number 2 equal to some value. Now, let us say public void display data is a method, and in this method we have to display number 1 and number 2. So, values of number 1 and number 2. So, how can we print? Just we need to print number 1. I will just keep a space, and number 2. That is it. Now, the job of this method is done, and this method is public void. So, it is public member which is of no return type. Now, let us say we can create one more method which is protected void test data, which is a method, and here this method is protected. This method is protected. Just I put one string over here. So, my base class members are ready. These are all my base class members. Fine. Now, we need to create the derived class for this base class, so that we can able to access all the members of base class from derived class. That is what known as single inheritance. So, how can I create a derived class? Class derived class name extends base class. So, the moment I will write like this, so inherit derived will become the derived class for the class inherit base, for the class inherit base. So, extends is a keyword. Now, to access the members of the base class from the derived class, we need to create one object. Let us say obj equal to new, again base class. This is what the way I need to create the object. Now, to access the items or methods or members, say this obj dot, you can able to see all the members, number 1, number 2, display data, and even we can see test data method. So, both the methods are accessible. Now, let us go again to the base class members. See, the number 1 is public access specifier, number 2 is protected access specifier, and display data is again public method and test data is protected. So, now let us say here, let me just say obj dot display data, I am just calling display data, which is public, another one is obj dot test data, which is protected. So, let us execute and check whether so what will be the output? The expected output is the output for display data, the values of number 1 and number 2, 100 and 200. The output for the test data, which is test data method, which is test method, is protected. So, 100, 200, this method is protected. These are all the output. So, let me write the output over here, 100, 200, this method is protected. These are all the output. Let me keep it in different lines. Yes. So, let us execute. So, as we are calling the methods which are non-static, we need to create the object and call the methods. Let's say okay. So, it's executed and I got the, say this, values of number 1 and 2 are 100 and 200, and this method is protected. So, it's inheriting means the derived class, inherit derived can access all the members whatever are available in base class, that is display data method, it can call test data method also it is calling, fine. And apart from that, the inherit derived can have its own properties. Let us say string derived class equal to we are in subclass. I am just giving one sample string, and it is again treated as a class member of inherit derived class. Let us say sys out. I am just printing its own member I am printing. So, let me execute again. Say this, we are in subclass. So, the derived class can access all the members available in base class and it can have its own properties. So, that is what the meaning of single inheritance, and this is the way it works. We need to remember static members are not inheritable and protected private members are not inheritable. How can I say private members are not inheritable? Let me just change the access specifier for a member from protected to private. The moment I will change the access specifier, I cannot able to see any, say this here, I can able to see one alert message over here. The method test data from the type inherit base is not visible. Why? Because we made the access specifier to private. So, it is private to the derived class itself. We cannot able to access it outside, even if we are creating the object or we are extending the class. So, let it be protected. Fine. So, few points we need to remember. Public members can be inherited, private members cannot be inherited, and static members also we cannot inherit, non-static members alone we can inherit. So, this is all about single inheritance. I hope it is clear. Thank you for watching this video. Happy learning.